Welcome, chat, YouTube. It is Wednesday night, which means we're playing the Mythic Society weekly event. We always show up with something interesting and something experimental for these kind of, F&M style events. And this is what I have today. This is a rehashing of an old deck that I actually played in a Mythic Society weekly, I believe last year. That's Hermit Druid, Living Wish, combo deck. In a bit of a what people used to call Xerox shells, preordained force of will, that kind of thing. I edited it a little bit to work with Lurrus of the Dream Den. The only card I had to cut from the old list was Narset or possibly Oko, depending on what build you were playing. So basically, you lose out on the ability to play your 3-mana Planeswalkers, or the ability to play like a really robust Green Sun Zenith package with, I don't know, Leovold. Instead, I've added Deathrite Shamans, trimmed a little bit on mana and Preordain to fit these Deathrite Shamans in because they play pretty well with Lurrus. And then we are playing a Hermit Druid combo deck. So if you've never seen Hermit Druid before, basically you play no basic lands in your deck, so your Hermit Druid will always mill over your entire deck. So you play your Hermit Druid, you mill over your entire deck, you hit Narcomoebas and a Thassa's Oracle into your yard, the Narcomoebas come back, and then you dread return the Thassa's Oracle and win the game. Previous builds have some number of Cabal therapies ranging from up to 2 and up to 4 Narcomoebas. I figured if we're going to be playing Deathrite Shamans, we might not need 4 Narcomoebas. We always drew a lot of Narcomoebas in the past, so you can get away with maybe a little bit less Narcomoebas in this build. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but that's the theory behind it. You also have the ability to return Thassa's Oracle with Lurrus if you don't have a Dread return, which I think is pretty powerful. The one change we made from the build before the build that we played in the other the other event was the addition of Living Wish was quite good. 4 Living Wishes ended up being a lot of Living Wishes, so I'm playing 3 this time. But having the ability to get a Thassa's Oracle for something like a Demonic Consultation combo, or if you can't Dread return, you can get a Thassa's Oracle. Finding a Hermit Druid from your sideboard, which means you have 6 Hermit Druids in the main deck. Using a Witch from your Living Wish board to replicate a Demonic Consultation, or to act as a Demonic Consultation for your Thassa's Oracle combo. You get a lot of extra combo elements by having 3 Living Wish in your sideboard. You also get a bunch of other cool things like Collector Roof, which is obviously an insane card in very specific matchups. Being able to Living Wish for Collector Roof is pretty strong. Returning Collector Roof with Lurrus also pretty strong. Tabernacle, you basically have main decks some kind of dredge hate by being able to Living Wish for not only a creature or a land. So you have a Tabernacle and a Strip Mine as a way to maybe give you a chance versus Bazaar of Baghdad. Deathrite Shaman should help a little bit as well in that sense. I'm trying out a Gilded Drake in my sideboard for this event. There's been a lot of people putting into play large creatures, and so I want to try this out. I don't know how good it is. I don't even know if it's remotely playable, but it's kind of a cool silver bullet to have in your Living Wish sideboard. 2 cards that don't get returned by Lurrus, but I think are strong inclusions in your Living Wish sideboard. I think True Name Nemesis is one of the more unbeatable fair permanents that you can have. I'm a big fan of things like an Uro or a Mana Gorger Hydra in this spot, but True Name does a really good job of just not dying to anything that anyone plays in Vintage. So if you can resolve this, it's pretty good against the fair decks. And then the problem with Uro is that a lot of the times people are bringing in ley lines to stop your Narcomoeba combo. So what that you want to do is be able to pivot to non-graveyard based game plans like Thassa's Oracle, Demonic Consultation, or activate Hermit or Living Wish for Thassa's Oracle, Hermit Druid, and then play a Thassa's Oracle. Reclamation Stage is another way to kill a Leyline of the Void. With the addition of Deathrite Shaman, we actually get to change out some Steel Sabotages for some Force of Vigors, which I think is just a much more powerful card. I haven't tested exactly all of this amount of Artifact Hate, but hopefully it's enough. And then just throwing in a little bit more Dredge Hate that is recurable with Lurrus. I think Soul Guide Lantern is pretty much the best card you can play with Lurrus. It's also very nice because it allows you to bring it in versus non-graveyard dependent decks that are still graveyard combo based decks. So think things like Breach. This card is pretty good versus Breach because you can stop them from comboing, but it also cantrip, so it's not like a dead draw like a Tormod's Grip might be. So a lot of versatility, a lot of utility going on with the different sideboard package, Living Wish package, main deck combo shell. Most of it is, you know, just a blue-based combo shell, so you're seeing all your normal restricted cards, preordains, counter magic, etc. Nothing super crazy there. I think Soul Guide Lantern is much better than Nihil Spellbomb, mostly due to the fact that it has a really, really strong enter the battlefield effect. Being able to take the one most important card from their yard when it ETBs is very, very good. Hitting their Ancestral so they can't Mystic Sanctuary it back, and you don't even have to crack your Lantern is really powerful. So, yeah, I think Soul Guide Lantern is typically, even in black decks, better than Nihil Spellbomb. Yeah, that's the whole deck. That's the whole thing. So, haven't played any games with it, but we have played actually a pretty large amount of leagues in the past with different shells that looked similar to this. So, it's not like we have no reps and no background on this deck at all. So, okay. So, this is going to be round 1, Mythic Society weekly event. We are playing versus Steven. Steven is playing this Golos Stax list. So, it's pretty typical Karn, 4 Revoker, 4 Serpent, 4 Sphere, 3 Crucible. Crucible Wasteland is really... Crucible Ghost Quarter is quite good against our Hermit Druid deck. So, I don't believe this is going to be an easy matchup by any means. You know, thanks, Andy, for the continued support. Powerful Wizard. Appreciate that. Let's see what we can do here, though. We will, in fact, reveal that we have a cat. But, like I said, no basics in our deck due to the Hermit Druid's deck building restriction. So 4 Ghost Quarter, 4 Wasteland is going to be rough for us. What we really want to see is a hand that has Force of Will and a Deathrite Shaman. That would be a strong starting hand. I guess Black Lotus Hermit Druid could also be reasonable, but you have to protect ourselves from spheres and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just mulligan this. 6 and 7 do not have mana. This hand is closer. We do get 2 looks at a land. I would bottom a card, and I would bottom Consult. Probably. I would have double force. I don't think it's worth it. Mana is going to be such a big issue in this matchup where we can't find basics, and it's really hard to... Oh god, I have to pitch 2 cards. Yeah. No, this is 6. This is 6. What are you talking about? I could pitch just Consult, have double Force of Will, and then have 2 draws for land drops. But I have no guarantee my land drops are fetch lands. It's kind of a hard to stomach proposition. This is really not a bad hand against Golos. It's just, I think keeping a no lander is... I think I would rather keep a 6 lander over this. So I'm going to just mulligan this hand. Like, this hand is much more palatable. We're gonna definitely get rid of a Consult. This Living Wish is gonna cost too much. Well, maybe we want to keep this Living Wish and have the ability to get a land, like a Strip Mine. It's probably not happening here, but this hand's good. Like, this hand has mana sources. This hand has an Hermit Druid. I think Consult is definitely going. I'm just trying to figure out what this next card to go is. I guess I should keep this sideboard up, huh? Why does this sideboard not contain 1, 2, 3, 4? Is my sideboard big enough here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Can I not wish for Lurrus? Or is it just in this zone? So I have to wish it from there? I just out of curiosity, it hasn't come up yet, but... Anyways, I think I'm going to pitch this Force of Will. Though it's pretty powerful if I immediately draw a blue card. I mean, I'm not going to be able to beat a sphere. It's just not going to be good enough, I don't believe. Even though this Living Wish isn't super strong either, but it's possible that Consult was better than Living Wish, because the Living Wish seems really poor. I just think that being able to get a Strip Mine maybe... Oh, I guess this is not Combo Shop, so maybe Strip Mine is kind of irrelevant. That's annoying. All right, so we have lost the ability to Deathrite Shaman. We've actually played around this by not taking the console, but that was obviously not intended, so that was not a good draw. At least we get to hold open a fetch land, I guess. Yeah, I think you could be right. You could be right, Andy. It might be better to have consult. I mean, this shop's hand looks really good for them. Yeah, I don't really think we can beat this. Mishra's Workshop is a powerful card, and I no longer can cast spells. That is that is the best draw. That is the actual factual best draw in our whole deck is another fetch land. I mean, if we can just draw lands every turn. Oh no. All right, I think it's better to make them have a waste or a ghost quarter than to let them hit one of these. I guess they're just gonna name Hermit Druid and waste us. So it seems pretty bad for me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. It kind of seems like all hope is lost. My hand was definitely not good enough to beat this. I didn't draw a blue card, so the force wouldn't have been able to do anything either. So I don't know, besides like keeping a different hand, if there was other options here. So like if yeah, even if they have no wasteland or ghost quarter, even if they have no wasteland or ghost quarter, I still need to draw another land, and there's a sorcerer's spyglass in play. Yeah, this is why I play a statue in all of my shop stacks. It's just pretty insane. Okay, so they actually just have a turn 3 or turn 4 win in their deck that I all right. Never mind. There's another thing going on here. They actually don't have a lattice in their board, so it's just standing up their 6 mana. This is not fun for Justin here. Okay, all right. Well, that was fun. I had a good time. That was on the higher end of shop straws, so... Alright, the problem here becomes opponent is likely to bring in 4 Leyline of the Void and 2 Grafdigger's Cages. I would like to board out the entirety of my graveyard-based combo here. I think that would be appropriate. I think bringing in Vigors is good. I'm bringing in Rex Sage. I'm bringing in... I don't think Lurrus is important, so I think it's fine to bring in... Well, maybe I just want to leave it in the board. Oof doesn't really do anything besides turn off Moxen. Maybe that's still fine. I think just leaving the other combo pieces in the board is fine. We can still kill with Hermit Druid and Thassa's Oracle. It's just we're gonna have to take a little bit longer to assemble it. Maybe we would rather just not have a Therapy, have a Strip Mine. And maybe we just want to play both Oracles in the main. I don't think that's the case. I guess we have to get rid of a Flusterstorm and a Misstep. I'm not going to fight over like a Grafdigger's Cage. So at that case, I guess we can bring in... Maybe we just bring in Witch and Oracle. And then if we're going to Living Wish, we can Living Wish for a Druid or a True Name. Or a Rex Sage. So that's still pretty good wish targets. It's kind of awkward. But I do think that if opponent's going to be bringing in 6 pieces of hate, I would rather just not battle verse it. I could be wrong, though. It's kind of interesting. Maybe you still want Dredge Return? Because you do have a bunch of creatures, but how often are we going to get 3 creatures in play? I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess we're in round 1. We're actually playing. We just died so fast in game 1. I would like to play first. I'm not 100% convinced that the sideboard plan that I just put together is the correct one, but I think it's reasonable. This hand is really tempting and could really backfire, but I think it's going to be a keep. Like I said, we don't have the ability to fetch a basic land, so we do have to hope that our preordains find us more lands. But yo, how's it going? Hope you're well as well. Hope you're well as well. That's good job, Justin. Hey. Okay. Let's get the trop. Yeah, those are not very good. I need lands. All right, if I just like get led on by, not led on, but if opponent leads on a Ghost Quarter or a Wasteland here, it's just kind of the end of the world. Thankfully, they did not. Hopefully, it's like a sphere or something that I don't care about. I mean, I care about a sphere. I have to counter it, but I have a million Force of Wills, so. I think the answer is going to be pitch a Force of Will here. Deathrite Shaman. I feel like I have to go for a preordain to find a land drop for this Deathrite Shaman, and I've already bought him 2. Oh no, not like this. This is a worry that I had about this hand. I am only 15 lands, but looking that many cards deep is like sad days. I'm just getting wastelanded here, and I'm gonna lose. It is a sad day. I could have played Deathrite Shaman, but I just didn't think that was the correct play. But it would have been pretty good. Maybe I was just really wrong in that matter. Okay, here we go. We're going off. We're going off. Would I rather have an Emerald or a Hermit Druid, actually? I'm not sure. I think I would rather have an Emerald. I have a Lurrus still. We definitely don't want to ship land. I can tell you that much. I think I'm going to do this. Land is going to make it possible for us to get our cast our Lurrus. So, it does make me think that maybe I was not supposed to force this, but if I had not forced that, it would have. I'm not guaranteed to draw a land. So, did they just strip mine my what? Okay, it was a bold play, opponent. I appreciate your boldness. Definitely gonna cast this. It might give us like an ancestral or a Black Lotus. That's interesting, isn't it? I don't think we're allowed to keep it though. Obviously it would solve all of our mana problems. We would get to get a Lurrus, cast a Lurrus, return a Black Lotus, but then we are forced to draw Flooded Strand on the next turn. And I don't think I'm willing to do that. I don't know, maybe a Lurrus is just good enough, but if they play like a Stone Coil Serpent, then it stonewalls that. It could just be good enough. And if they're gonna if they're actively attacking my mana base, then maybe it's fine to have another Flooded Strand. Alright, I'm gonna try it. I think that's fine. Hold on. Let's float a mana first. Just in case there's something silly. There's nothing to bring back. I'm aware of that. This is control shops. Golos shops. This can be a Golos. Hmm. I don't know. They just strip mine my fetch land, so maybe this play was bad. I can see it being not ideal. And now we have the mana to play any card we draw, though, which I think is pretty strong. This is an interesting get with opponent having not Metalcraft. Sure, that's attack is also weird. Like, you're not racing. Is this a Stonecoil Servant? All right, you're racing. I see that now. All right, maybe we are just kind of screwed. All right, we need to top deck. Yep. Nice call, Andy. You love to see it. We have a lot of choices. We have True Name Nemesis, Gilded Drake. I think Gilded Drake actually is the best choice. Oh, wait. Hermit Druid will win the game, right? Unless they do something crazy, Hermit Druid's going to win the game. So Hermit Druid has to be the best. Hermit Druid has to be the best, right? I really want to take the Gilded Drake, though. You're right. You're right. It's too risky. There are seven revoker effects. Let's do the cool play. Let's do the cool play. Could also get an Archmeva. I've never cast this card in my entire life, so hopefully I'm understanding how it works. I want this Stonecoil thing. I don't think Rexage is better. I can't attack with my Lurrus, though, I guess. Yeah, that is true. I don't know how we're going to kill the Drake, but this thing has reach and says flying. I feel pretty good about taking it, to be perfectly honest. You have I have one Assassin's Trophy. Yes, this is a true statement. Jeez. Okay. Mono God. I mean, God-Pharaoh's Statue, not the end of the world for me with my current mana setup. I have an Assassin's Trophy. I mean, if we draw an Assassin's Trophy, and it's pretty sweet. Oh boy. All right, so I think we're currently winning. This Gilded Drake looking good. It's that sweet tech, I guess. I mean, I am pinging them at a faster rate than they are pinging us. I don't have a full 12 damage, but I have a Stonecoil Serpent I can attack with. They can't really block it at some point. I don't know when I'm attacking with it, but when I do attack with it, they can't really block it profitably. If they block with Gilded Drake and Golos to kill it, I get my Gilded Drake back and play it again, right? I mean, I can also draw that Magic the Gathering card. It's not a bad one by any means. Yes. Okay. I think I'm going to just cast this. I mean, should I attack this turn? The problem is, what about the swing back? They take this, and then they would lose. I don't actually think Ancestral Recall is like that good here, right? It costs 3 mana, so it's basically Painful Truths. If I attack here, are they going to block? If they choose not to block, then don't they like end up in pretty big trouble? They're at 4. They have an Ancient Tomb. We have a Stonecoil and a Lurrus. And if they do block, then we just get their Golos. I think there's like, it's just a win-win, right? Just to attack. Well, how much do I take? I take 6, 7, but then I kill them. I'm just gonna attack, I think. What if I get wastelanded? It's a little annoying, but I still have 4 mana. They also die to Deathrite Shaman if they take this, so they have to. They have to block this. Because they're just gonna die to Deathrite Shaman. Okay, they're just... Oh, I thought they would maybe just block with that. Yeah, we'll just block like this. Attack, do this. Man, Gilded Drake actually... Maybe the tech. Maybe it was just the tech the whole time. Holy shit. Okay, well, sometimes I mean, they get a 3/3 flyer. So, you know, not bad. Am I just supposed to still Ancestral here? I guess I should have done it in a different way so I could have ate with my Deathrite Shaman. That was a mistake. I should have cracked this Black Lotus. I was too wrapped up in the all right, so I think I should still cast Ancestral here. I think I messed this up though. I should have used my Ancestral Recall. I should have cast my Gilded Drake off my Black Lotus so I could have left open Underground Sea. Doing a Golos ability into a Godpharaoh statue is not the strongest play. Okay, so I can clean that up. I can clean that up. But Gilded Drake, wait a second. Actual factual the god. Okay, all right, interesting. And Golos was quite good. So that was cool. That was cool. I've never done that before, but I feel really happy that I have now. Excuse me. All right, so do we learn anything else about rearranging the sideboard? We didn't learn if they played Leyline or not. I kind of still think that if opponent's going to be bringing in Leylines, I kind of just always want to do this game plan, right? I feel like that would be the case. Like, just not having to worry about the graveyard elements seems good. I mean, I still care about Leyline because of Lurrus and Deathrite. So maybe that's not really the right way to go about this. Yeah, we're going to game 3. I just think that having a bunch of Narcomoebas in my deck is pretty sus. Like, having 4 cards that are not very good against my opponent is... And opponent's also playing 7 Revoker effects, so Hermit Druid gets a lot worse. I'm really happy that Gilded Drake was sweet. I think it's still supposed to be a wish target, though, right? I think it's still supposed to be a wish target and not a in my deck target. I think that would be true. Okay, let's I wonder if you're supposed to play Soul Guide Lanterns. They're pretty bad, but they stop Crucible. Okay, all right. We'll just try again. I'm not sure. I think it's too early to draw conclusions on exactly how I want to play this matchup. I kind of want to play it like 10 more times to figure out the best way about it, but Lurrus was a lot better there than I thought. Okay. Lurrus was a lot better there than I thought it was going to be. Oof is kind of awkward when I draw my Black Lotus. Because normally I don't really care about getting oofed, but the Black Lotus is a good one. I'm going to keep this. Obviously, I don't have a force in my hand, but I have multiple pieces of mana. I'm definitely keeping. We have some options. We certainly have some options here. This makes me wish I had... Oh, I think it's very likely that I get sphered on turn 1. Oh, opponent mulled to 6. Swamp, huh? I didn't notice that. Sphere? Or a chalice on 1 again. It's a sphere. Okay. Well, I'm gonna Collector Roof them. Looks pretty good. Might lock them under a sphere. That is pretty insane for us. Okay, have a second mana, but they are still under a sphere. And now we have... we obviously didn't want to draw that, but we have follow-up Deathrite Shaman, which is quite strong as well. I seeing this this land across the table from me, and I keep thinking there's a hair on my screen. I think Deathrite Shaman is better than any of these other choices, like vamping for something. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the way this line looks. See what they can play. Like, yeah, see, like, I don't care about a Grafdigger's Cage because I'm just not focused on that game plan anymore. Which makes me... oh, that's such a good draw, too. I think I'm just going to hold open Negation and End of Turn Vamp for something. There are other lines, like... maybe we could Living Wish for the... no, I boarded the Strip Mine in as another mana source, so that doesn't work. I think it's correct to have the Strip Mine in my main just as an additional mana source where we're fairly mana light. I think holding open Negation and End of Turn Vamping for something important is... I think that's a reasonable way to go about this. Obviously, we're not clocking our opponent very fast with the Inventor's Fair in play, but... what do they find that they can actually cast here? Another Chalice on 0. Yeah, I just don't care. All right, I think what we're gonna do is... cast Vamp. Might just be Ancestral. We could always Assassin's Trophy them. Maybe we're supposed to start going for... like a True Name out of the board with this Living Wish. I mean, we could go for a Consult kill. Oh, they just conceded instead. Which I think is fair, but... all right, let's take a second and just think about what we think is the best Vamp here. That's not how Gilded Drake works, I don't think. It exchanged control of Gilded Drake and up to one creature. If you don't or can't make it just dies. That's not how Gilded Drake works. I didn't think that was how Gilded Drake works. I think Strip Mine is actually the best play. Like, we kind of actually have to get rid of the Inventor's Fair. Maybe we don't need to get rid of it right away and we just use it as a mana source. That's not a bad line, Stu. So if we get we get a Strip Mine, we Strip Mine the Inventor's Fair, and then we Living Wish for the True Name and just attack. I think that's actually the best line, to be perfectly honest. I don't think Ancestral is bad by any means, especially with the Mystic Sanctuary being in the deck. I don't see, like, I don't think getting like one half of the combo is very good. So this kind of makes a lot of sense to me. Strip Mine their Inventor's Fair and Living Wish for True Name, and then kill them with True Name and Collector Roof as they get sit underneath their own sphere of resistance. Not bad, not bad. I think the way we boarded made sense, and I do think that it was a tough matchup with us having no basics, but we didn't end up getting ghost courted at all, so that worked out pretty well. All right, round 2. We were able to... let me actually write that down. We were able to pick up the win in round 1. Let's see if we can't keep the dream alive here. We're playing against Juan. Again, Juan is on the Birgi God of Storytelling combo deck that Matt Murray and I worked on. More Matt Murray than anyone, but, you know, there's a little bit of me in here with this Paradox engine. Basically, it's a... are we still on... okay, we are off Oath. There's no longer Oath of Druids in this deck. So we're playing Gemstone Mine Spire. Basically, we're a workshop combo deck that aims to play the back half of Birgi, which is the horn. I can't show you the horn here. And then you combo off with Sensei's Divining Tops. Cool deck. Really cool deck. If you want to see that deck, there should be a video somewhere on my channel for it. All right, so I have this, and I have my sideboard here that everyone can see, kind of. It's pretty small, but... this hand's great. Obviously, Flusterstorm is a little dead, but I did change one Flusterstorm to a Spell Pierce, and Spell Pierce is certainly very strong against my opponent's deck. I'm going to keep this, and we're going to play Tarn, pass, hold up Spell Pierce, and then next turn we can play Tropical Island with the ability to ponder and crack away, which is always powerful. Matt's just becoming a doctor, so, you know, it takes up a lot of time. Also, you know, I don't think he's, like, super into Vintage right now, either, so... There's a lot of things in Vintage that can really wear on you. It's a reason that it's one of the big reasons I don't stream more often than I do. I stream like a little bit, right? I stream a couple times a week, but I don't stream nearly as much as some other streamers. And that's because I don't think I would mentally be super happy with playing too much more Vintage than I already do. Anyways. Definitely just going to go pass here and hold open Pierce. As Pierce is very good in the first couple turns, especially when you're trying to cast things off of Workshop. Opponent deck does feature 3 defense grids, which are quite good against me. At least in my counter magic area. I don't believe I'm going to counter a Pearl, though. I would rather try to hit when I play against a deck like this, you want to hit their combo pieces and their engine pieces because they just have so few of them. This is a little bit more powerful, though. Thanks, Coderific, for the 3 months. Everyone's on 3 months this today. It's been great. Thanks, everybody. This one, I'm actually thinking about piercing, because it is a very large mana boost. And the problem with letting this resolve is if they follow up with a Sensei's Divining Top, which is a card that I do want to spell pierce, they will be able to pay for it. So... I'm actually into the idea of just countering this, even though I just told you that I wanted to counter their engine pieces. Flexibility, yes. Flexibility at all points. It's a little aggressive, but opponent did lead on Spire of Industry. They go Ancestral, look pretty silly. Okay, so they had an even bigger Mana Rock follow-up. So I definitely want this Ponder to look for a Force of Will. That's not a good draw. I definitely didn't want to see another land. We kind of need a Force of Will. Black Lotus, Preordain. I think I would like to just take a Preordain and crack away my other 2 cards and cast a Preordain looking for a Force. I just think that we want to be able to force a Horn or something on this next turn. I think that's kind of what this game is looking like. And I could be wrong. That could be an incorrect evaluation of the current board state and the way these decks play versus each other. But as a fact that I've never played a match for these decks together, I'm making assumptions. Ooh, boy. So a Hermit Druid is not a bad card here, as I will win on the 4th turn of this game. I just am very worried I'm not going to get a 4th turn. I think it's a risk I'm allowed to take, though. I think it is important to present a clock, and currently we have no way of presenting a clock. So if opponent has a Horn here, could get dicey. I do have the ability to gush into a Force blind if we have to. This is a true statement. It does make my Hermit Druid very poor, though. Even if I gush, even if I emergency gush and find a Force, it's not really likely that I'll still win the game, but it is true. It's worth noting for sure. I think you definitely want to take the Hermit Druid there, though, and like it's not a guarantee your opponent has some substantial engine in their hand, and us being able to play a threat on the next turn is very powerful. I also think if we do make it to the next turn, we would gush too. So we would have Hermit Druid and a gush. So they do have a Horn. They do have a horn. I don't think I'm allowed to gush for a force right now, though. All right, they did exile a card. They hit a jet and a other Birgi. They have an opal, so they have opal jet. They still can't cast this Birgi. This is still okay for me. They have one more horn activation if they want it. Okay, they're just taking an extra turn, man. If we, it turns out Flusterstorm would have been quite good here, but the number of spells Flusterstorm hits in my opponent's deck is fairly limited. This will go into exile though, so they basically get 3 looks at a powerful card. And I think I'm gonna let it fly. This is going away. Basically, they just have 3 looks with 4 mana. I think I'm willing to take that risk. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right, they exiled the land that they drew, and they hit Time Twister. Oh no. And they have enough mana to cast it. God. That is basically the nightmare scenario. If I had hold open Flusterstorm, I definitely would have won this game, but I didn't value holding open Flusterstorm, and I'm not really sure that I was supposed to hold open Flusterstorm. I don't think I was. I don't think gushing. Man, if I let this resolve though, there's probably 0 way I ever win. That's the problem. If I let this resolve, there's probably no way I ever win. So I just have to gush and hope I hit force. And then try to rebuild and hope they keep missing. I did not hit force. Yeah, I do think that I don't think I played incorrectly. I just don't think it worked out. So we're going to die here. We're very, very much going to die here. Very, very much going to die here. But gets a lot better post board. I'm just going to concede. I don't really... Well... I mean, I have their whole list. I don't know if chat wants to see more of this combo out. Chat, you want me to watch for a little while? Or do you want to just go to game 2? Up to you. Yeah, they have Burning Wishes in their deck, and in their sideboard they have Grape Shots. There's really no logical way that I should ever be getting a turn back here, but it's actually happening, I think. Wait, what's over here? There's a Sapphire. I mean, even if I get a turn back, is that really going to be good enough? Probably not. I mean, we can wait a second, though. They actually... Oh, they hit a Petal. That'll give them a Vamp. That should be good enough. They should just Vamp for a... Whoa, they have no cards in hand. Okay, they can crack a Soul Guide Lantern, though. But that won't let them cast it. I still don't understand like what I'm going to do though. And none of my cards do anything. I lost both of my land drops. I think they were... Oh, they just put a Lotus on top and cast it off of Forge. That makes sense, but you still need a Sensei's top or something here. All right, good night, Dinglas. Oh, there. Yeah, the problem is, I do think that my opponent may have made some slight sequencing errors, but I don't have any follow-up. I guess I could draw Ancestral. I don't know. Maybe it's worth waiting it out. Let's just wait it out a little bit. Does it feel like they drew a card that they want to cast? This is a Burning Wish? I don't really think there's anything you can get. I mean, they can just get a Yogwell and just go for the next turn. They got a Deep Analysis? Now that's some tech. Pitch the Deep Analysis to Harnfeld? That's cute. It's very cute. That's very, very cute. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. I don't feel like that should ever have to be necessary, but... Alright, we ended up getting a turn. God, I don't know how we ended up getting a turn. I still need to draw Ancestral to have any agency here, right? I drew a Narcomoeba, though, so... We got that going for us. I actually got all the way back to my turn, but my 7-card hand is so bad, I had no chance of ever playing the game. Oh... Sad days. Sad days. My Twister hand was, oh, not great. Not great. Not great. Yes, flashback, Deep Analysis. God bless. I'm gonna let him finish out this game, I think. All right. What else we got? Oh, they hit a top and a okay. That is infinite. So we are good to go to the next game. So with the Birgi in play and a Sensei's top, they draw through their whole deck because the top no longer costs mana. Okay, so we're gonna bring in Force of Vigor. We're going to bring in Collector Oof. We're going to bring in... What has the opponent got in the sideboard? They don't really have Graveyard Hate, right? Oh god, they have just a Tormod's Crypt. Okay, yeah, we're gonna just keep in the full combo, and just board out Flusterstorm. You're right. Still, we'll board out Flusterstorm, and we'll board out maybe one of the Delve spells. I don't really know. None of our cards are bad per se because opponent doesn't restrict us in any way. Maybe we don't need... I think I like Misstep versus them. Board out Deathrite. Maybe one Deathrite. Sure. I don't know. I guess we can. It doesn't really do anything versus them, but it's... Yeah, I guess we kind of want to be preordaining on turn 1. Maybe that makes some sense. Is Wish super good here? It's just more copies of Hermit Druid, so I do think it's pretty reasonable. We should be trying to kill them as fast as possible, right? Every boarded out Deathrite Shaman makes my Vigors worse, which is something I'm concerned about, so it's another reason not to board out Wishes. Maybe it's just like Probe, like who cares? Like this? I don't know. Let's try something like this. I just want to bring in my artifact hate and still focus on combo because opponent's not willing to, we're playing a racing game here. Opponent's not willing to disrupt my graveyard based combo. So like if I have a Black Lotus Hermit Druid hand with a Force of Will, that's kind of what we're looking for. All right, we can put this Lurrus back up here, hanging out. What do we got? What do we got? We have a Steel Sabotage, Force of Will, Living Wish hand. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. Although Living Wish is pretty slow with Hermit Druid, it is just more copies of the Hermit Druid. Like this just gets pitched to Force. We Time Walk. We counter their best spell on turn 1. We go get a Hermit Druid. If we hit a Moxen in our first 2 draws, then we have, well, that's not exactly how that works. It's a little, yeah, actually, I mean, it's possible. We hit land Moxen, I guess. We could be able to play a Hermit Druid on turn 2-ish. Quotation marks turn 2. This doesn't seem unreasonable. It looks like a pretty good hand, is what I'm trying to say. You got it. You get to see my entire hand. This deck used to play 3 Steel Sabotages, but once I changed to Deathrite Shamans, then I got the ability to play Vigors. I still don't know if that's better or worse. Probably. Still correct to force their payoffs, not their Black Lotus. With double counterspell here, it's really hard for them to protect. I mean, still just let this resolve. It's not like they have rebuys or anything. They don't have force. If they like search up a defense grid, I just Steel Sabotage it. Still have force. Let's see. It's not like they're bringing Pyroblast into their deck. I mean, they know exactly what we have, so they're going to play the best around it that they can, and we're going to just do our thing. It does kind of make me think about, should we be bringing in the Collector Roof in these matchups? If I could Living Wish for a Collector Roof here, wouldn't it be better than Living Wishing for a Hermit Druid? And maybe the answer to that is no. But it is a turn faster. Like the Oof does something right away where the Hermit Druid doesn't, but the Hermit Druid does win the game on the next turn. But this deck really can't beat a Collector Roof. But this is kind of the extreme case. This is like the most extreme case where a deck dies the Collector Roof. Okay, so the question becomes, did they Demonic Tutor for Ancestral, or did they Demonic Tutor for Tolarian Academy? Another Living Wish. Not ideal. Not ideal. We kind of wanted to see land drop Moxen there. I think I'm supposed to Time Walk. If opponent has Ancestral, we can still force it if we think that's correct. I want to hit a land so that I can Living Wish and have Sabotage up still. I just hit a Druid. Huh. Do I think that 1 Force of Will is going to be good enough is now the question. I can wish for a Strip Mine. It is not an unreasonable play either. I have a lot of choices, yes. I have Wish for Strip. I have play Hermit Druid, Threaten Lethal. I kind of like Wish for Strip, to be honest. I think it's kind of reasonable. It's going to make my Force of Will stronger. It may enable my Steel Sabotage on a later turn. Yeah, you can take the Lurrus. That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to Wish for Strip Mine. And I am going to Strip Mine their Tolarian Academy. Pretty powerful play. So they definitely tutored for this academy, I would think. Which leaves us in a decent spot. We do just have force, so if they have like defense grid into wheel or something, it's pretty bad. I mean, I still am supposed to force this though, so let's see what their payoff is. They only don't know one card. Could technically be a force of will or a force of vigor, but I mean, I wouldn't play around that if I was them. So I feel like they should jam whatever their best threat is here. If they have no threat, it would be a little awkward for them to have DT'd for Academy. Unless they have a very large costing threat, like a Paradox Engine or something of the sort, like a horn. Like no land horn. Yeah, Ripping Vigor would be quick. Okay, so they don't have a threat follow-up, and they don't have a land follow-up. So all I want to see here is a land or a Moxen, or a Vigor, or Force of Will, so that I can play my Hermit Druid and have some protection. Days. Okay, I think they have no threat, so I'm just supposed to, like, passing with Steel Sabotage up here seems pretty I guess they could play a horn. God, it's so tight. I wish I had a land I could get with this Living Wish. Maybe not. Maybe that's not very good anyways. The question is, what do they have? If they have a Birgi and they cast a horn here, I kind of need to be able to Steel Sabotage it. If they cast a Birgi, obviously I can't Steel Sabotage it. But it's not the end of the world. I guess if they didn't have a land last turn and they cast a horn, it is susceptible to daze. I think it's time for me to put a Hermit Druid in play. And maybe that is too aggressive, but this is how I would rather play the game out, I think. There's no guarantee that the cards off the top of my library are going to help advance my game plan. I think this gives me some amount of protection. Like, didn't seem like they had a land drop, so if they do go for a horn, I have some protection here. I think it just makes sense to make them do something. And if they don't have anything to do, we do win the game on the spot as long as we don't draw. I think we should be fine. Even drawing a Narcomoeba, we have 3, so we're still okay. So they don't know about my days. So I think it's fine. I can see some value in just waiting, but I don't think it's a strong enough play to justify doing it. The way I look at it anyways. So what do we have here? It looks like they are going to crack this Lotus because they're floating mana first. Let's see what happens. That's not good. So now they can play a horn with Daze back up. There's a lot of things you can Living Wish for, E-Star. Like just this game, we Living Wish for a Strip Mine. Twist? Birgi? 6 mana? White mana? Jar. Oh, we actually had Jar. We actually had Jar beat with Daze if they didn't have the Opal. All right. Am I still supposed to Daze this just so they have 1 less mana? Because if they go into my Jar hand, then I'm not going to have a Daze anyways. And I have no reason to protect any of my lands. I have all the mana I need. So I feel like just eating their 1 red mana here is worthwhile. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to pick up the Trop? I guess they have no way of killing my Trop. No, I would definitely keep the Trop in play in case we get twisted or something. All right, we're going to our new 7 chat. And it has a force. This is a good start. So the rest of their hand was... Did they have a rest of their hand? Oh no, that goes into the jar, right? He goes into exile. I just want to see what is exiled. Birgi and 2... What? Is it exiled face... Oh, they're exiled face down. Yes, right. Duh. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, that is true. I guess I don't really think it matters which one I daze, but... Where are these going? It's been so long since a jar happened. These get discarded at the end of turn, right? This could have been pretty bad for us, right? If we had drawn multiple Narcomoebas. If we had drawn multiple Narcomoebas, we might not have been able to combo on the next turn. That would have been pretty sad days. Yeah, I guess if we... Yes, you're right. If we needed to, we... Okay, so they just didn't hit anything. Okay. Sure. I don't think they have a single card in their deck that should be able to stop a Thassa's Oracle combo. I'm not seeing a single card that would do that. So I think we're just going to win. They could have held Jar. Yeah, they could have held Jar to... What the hell? All right, we got. Where's the lightning bolt in the... Oh, it's from... Okay, sure. This was in their hand already. They just got an additional red mana. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I yeah, but I didn't think that would... Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna cast Living Wish here. And we're gonna go get a Hermit Druid or a Rex Sage. Could just get a Rex Sage. It's not very good. Just get a Hermit Druid and go for the win again on the next turns. Oh, they drew an Ancestral on their jar. But they couldn't use the blue mana to cast it in case they couldn't have a red mana for the Hermit Druid. That's pretty funny. What a weird, just some interesting matches tonight. I feel like maybe they're supposed... Well, they can't really hold Jar because they know we have Steel Sabotage. So they can't go for like the Jar try to kill us line that chat was pointing out. So, oh, okay. I mean, this card is better, so I'm just going to cast this card. Yeah, we got their lightning bolt as well, so this card should be good. We'll put off winning for another turn. Okay, maybe I don't know. Are we supposed to have this oof in our wish board? I don't think so. Maybe we just want more collectors. One main, one board. I don't know. This is true. We definitely have 3 copies with Bish. I mean, there was no point in that game where we would have Living Wished for Oof, except for the very last one, to be fair, right? Our Living Wish for Strip Mine was the only play we were going to make in that situation because we needed to keep them off of mana. So I don't think we would have actually Living Wished for an Oof in any situation except for the very last one. That's true. I guess there are there are four. We also have consult. Don't forget consult. I think it's better in the main because we can just naturally like play it from our opening hand very early in the game is my idea, but I think that's the reasoning. Okay, I'm gonna resubmit. I think this game plan is sound. This deck is a lot of fun. I do enjoy playing this deck quite a lot. Oh my lord. Jace Alpha. 22-month resub. Almost 2 years. That's wild. Powerful wizardry. Much appreciated. This is a trap. This is a trap. This is a trap. This has got to be a trap, right? This hand's not good. Has no permission. Yeah, this hand's just not good. Why do I even consider this hand? I don't know. Saw a Black Lotus and a Preordain and a Thassa's Oracle. Not very good, though. I'm just going to mulligan this hand. This hand is better, I guess. Hope we don't die. They kept 7. I don't think I'm allowed to mulligan this hand here. Oh, they kept a 7 that had nothing? And we drew a Vigor? I think I'm supposed to, I was gonna not play the Shaman anyways to hold up Sabotage, so this works out for Justin. I don't know, I see a Lotus and I have a cat and I'm like, drew a Sapphire. Why do I feel like they have Ancestral though? I guess I'm not really gonna be able to stop Ancestral anyways. Let's just play the correct game plan, play to their engine cards. What do we got? A jar. All right, I'm definitely just going to sabotage your jar. It's pretty value. Maybe you don't even have to sabotage the jar, to be fair. If a green card would let me play a shaman. Ooh, brainstorm. Now, that's interesting. Should I just play brainstorm then? I mean, I could just wait until end of turn and play brainstorm as well. What would I want to play this turn? I want to play time walk, but I don't want to lose my fetch land brainstorm. But what card would I want to like pitch away though? The only card that is not very good right now is dig through time. I guess technically if I draw a green card off of my brainstorm, then I would be able to play my Deathrite Shaman and have Vigor still, which is viable. I don't want to time walk first. I think that would be incorrect choice because then I do not have a fetch land for my brainstorm. Though if I'm not keeping any of my, if I don't want to get rid of cards, then maybe it's fine. I just don't think this dig is going to be needed. Doesn't really seem necessary. I think there's a lot of value to brainstorming on my turn here, such that if I draw a green card, I can play a Deathrite Shaman and open up my next turn to be doing things. Well, yeah, this is true. Okay, I don't know. I can see a lot of reasonings. I'm not a very powerful legacy wizard, so I don't know about this brainstorm right now. If we're not using this, I mean, I think we are going to brainstorm no matter what at the end of turn, though, right? This is the worst outcome. This is the factual worst outcome. Interesting. If I just put back both blue card. This is just not going to work out because there's no way I'm going to be able to cast Vigor on their turn. Well, let's think about this. If I just put them back on top, don't cast... I mean, I can't cast anything this turn anyways. Draw my Underground Sea. Fetch away with my Underground Sea. Fetch away my Dig Through Time. Go Deathrite Shaman, Time Walk. And then I can go... What am I going to go? I can't, like, play a Hermit Druid and cast a Vigor on their turn. I mean... I mean, who knows what we would have drawn if we had walked, but... Yeah, I mean, we can play a Vigor on their turn if we do nothing next turn. All right, at the very least, this is how I'm doing it for sure, so... I just think that we probably should have gotten a Deathrite Shaman in play, right? Okay, so next upkeep, we have to kill that Forge. They hit an LED? That could be bad. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to... Well, maybe I'm supposed to... No, I should just definitely Time Walk first. And then just hard cast Vigor on my turn. That's a better play, right? And I drew Force. That's a hit. That's an absolute hit. Okay, so I'm gonna do the play that I said. I don't know if it's the best play, but I do like the line we just came up with. Kill your defense grid, kill your Mystic Forge. They both go down. I drew probably the best card in my deck so that I still have the ability to not lose to something. And then I can play a Hermit Druid and threaten lethal. So that worked out pretty well, but I do not know if I really liked how I played it. Being able to play Time Walk and Deathrite Shaman in the same turn, though, was pretty strong. So Brainstorm had some upside there. I think I was supposed to Brainstorm on my turn is the line that I think I wanted to take. That way I could play the Deathrite Shaman that turn if I drew a green card. And I think the Dig Through Time was willing to be pitched anyways. So and that was the line I was leaning towards at the start, but I got kind of talked out of it. Not your fault, chat. I wanted you to talk about your lines, but I definitely think that my first instinct there of Brainstorm on my turn is the line that I wish I had went with. I just think the Time Walk is so low value. All right, well, I have to force this. I don't really remember what this gets, but it can't be good for me. Is it a Bola Citadel? It's a Bola Citadel. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I have to force that. So this worked out very well for us here. Obviously, that card is garbage. I don't think I have a choice. I'm just going to play a Hermit Druid and hope they have not another follow-up here. Yep. Here we go. I mean, Dig Through Time was a perfectly reasonable card to put back. If we fetched. I don't know what the next fetch was going to be, but what did they draw? They have a horn and an LED. Okay. They had a lot of haymakers in this game. They have a lot of haymakers in this game. All right. They pitched a Birgi. Found a top. And an Abrade for my Hermit Druid. Wow. I think we're going to lose. What the fuck? Yeah, I think we're going to lose this game. That's wild. I don't really think I could have played it better. That was nuts. They hit really, really well. I'm pretty sure Horn into top of Braid off of LED with an LED in play is like the top dog. I mean, they just like had all action, right? They had Jar, Grid, Forge, Tinker, Helm. They had five action spells and a workshop. I mean, that's what more can you really ask for, right? If you're not winning off of that, then what are you doing, right? Yup. All right, and now they have a million looks off of this top. Pretty sure we're very dead here. Couldn't have played that. I don't think I could have played that very differently, so. They didn't even spin, and they top decked infinite, so I guess we die. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's a powerful deck. We even drew the top deck Force of Will to get us to that point. We drew very well that game. We can't complain at all because I think our draws were quite good. I mean, we had a Steel Sabotage, Vigor, Force of Will hand. Sometimes your best just ain't good enough. I am recording this right now to inform the YouTube viewers that we, in fact, were handed the round 3 bye, which, well, that is not very entertaining. It is a win, I guess. I'm going to commentate on some of the other matches that are going on, but that won't make it into the YouTube video. So if you want to see that, you could always check out the Twitch VODs or watch live for the extra content. Anyways, we're here now after our bye. You've probably only been 10 seconds on YouTube, but it has been more than that on the stream. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're here. It's round 4 of the Vintage Society. Well, Vintage Society? Mythic Society Vintage Weekly event. We've got a sweet brew from our opponent, Chase. Chase is on a 4 Lurrus Dark Petition deck. It's quite the masterpiece. It's cool. It utilizes Mishra's Bauble and some other Soul Guide Lantern, Urza's Bauble as draw engines inside of its Dark Petition, Tinker, Citadel, Storm Shell. It can Dark Ritual out a Lurrus on turn 1, which is pretty cool. You know, it's got some cool things going on. So it is a non-Force of Will Storm-based deck that is also playing 4 Lurrus. That is the end-all be-all there. Let's begin. Let's go. I have a cat. You have 4 cats, but you don't automatically get your cat. I automatically get my cat. Okay, what do we got? So we do draw the Dread Return, which is obviously a dead draw, but as long as we mill over the Cabal Therapy, we can therapy ourselves and put the Dread Return back in the yard, or we could return the Thassa's Oracle using a Lurrus later. So I do think this is definitely a keep. Maybe it's a keep because we do have Living Wish for Hermit. We have no interaction is what I'm trying to say. We don't have ways to interact with opponents' combos, but I mean I think our hand is just pretty solid and I would be willing to keep it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead with Cataxian Probe and just see what my opponent's got for a hand and what we need to, how we want to prioritize and plan out this game. Oh, we're gonna die. Actually, that doesn't kill us, right? Well, that might kill us. I'm no DPS expert. Even if it doesn't kill us, they still have Mystical Tutor for Tinker on the next turn. I guess they don't because they won't have the mana. Interesting. Well, they could have the mana depending on this bauble. It looks scary, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, okay. Sure. Got him. I I am going to lead with Time Walk in an effort to be able to play my Deathrite Shaman this turn. It is worth noting opponent still has the ability to tutor for Tinker and Tinker me. So the game is not over, but we can follow up with maybe Living Wish for Strip Mine. I don't know. We need help though. We need help. We really want to hit a land drop this turn so we can play Deathrite Shaman. Didn't hit it. Didn't hit it. Like I can't play Deathrite Shaman this turn. So I have to therapy the Dark Rituals. I think Dark Rituals is the best choice. It basically by therapying Dark Ritual, I basically turn off Dark Petition as well. We could still lose this game very easily to Tinker because we just don't have a follow-up plan. If we don't draw, like we can't Living Wish for Strip Mine now. We might actually just be dead, even though this draw was sweet. I don't know. That is not how that works because I have to pay black mana to cast therapy the first time, and then I have no mana to pay for my Deathrite Shaman. So, I mean, next turn I could therapy again, but it doesn't matter because they have a Mystical Tutor. They're just going to put a Tinker on the top of their library. So if I take Mystical Tutor right now, they can go Ritual, Dark Petition. All right, let's think about Ritual, Dark Petition. So if my opponent goes Ritual, Dark Petition off of Mana Crypt and Rituals, they get a bunch of black mana. Then what do? Demonic Tutor. Oh, maybe we can take. What if we take Mystical here, is my question. Is that like a viable path? They have Bauble plus Fetch Land. They do have a Dark Petition. But if they don't cast the Dark Petition on turn 1, we can cast Deathrite and Therapy again. Well, the problem with Ritual, Dark Petition for Yogg-Will is they have no blue mana and nothing to do with their blue, even if they had it. Right? I might be crazy here, but currently I don't believe they have anything they can do with this Dark Petition that is going to be threatening to me. My problem is I know that if I therapy Ritual, then my opponent's turn is going to be just Mystical Tutor for Tinker. And I can't beat Mystical Tutor for Tinker right now. I think I'm taking Mystical Tutor. I could be. This. I don't know. I don't know if this is correct. They have 9 Natural Storm. Fuck. Dark Ritual 1, 2. Well, maybe they can just Storm kill me then. Do they really? 2, 3, 4. Yogg-Will 5, 6. Yeah, that actually does kill me. God damn it. All right, whatever. Yeah, I guess that would kill me. I don't know. I think we're dead either way. I mean, this at least gives me a draw step, I guess. But we're so screwed. We have to draw Force, right? Or I guess we can draw Lotus into Dig Through Time. It's really bad, though. It's really, really bad. I mean, my first instinct was obviously just immediately take the Dark Rituals, but the reason I wanted to think about it more is because this tutor line is also going to kill us. Which is the problem with keeping this hand. It just doesn't have very much interaction. We drew a piece of interaction. Like, if we didn't draw the Cabal Therapy, we would also be dead. So maybe this hand was actually unkeepable. Is the real lesson, maybe? I think the real lesson is we probably should have mulliganed this hand. Wow. Okay. Sure. Why not? No, they just haven't cast. They haven't cast Tutor yet. Their hand is Mystical Tutor, Dark Petition, 2 unknowns. Ah. They did draw a Mental Misstep, though. All right. Well, you got me, opponent. You definitely got me. All right. So they're definitely gonna go for Mystical Tinker, and then we're gonna probably win the game off of the negation if we are allowed to do anything later on. I mean, I did draw, like, besides not drawing a land, which I didn't want. Wait, what? They just got Gataxian Probe? Does that mean they drew Tinker? Why did they get a Gataxian Probe? They bobbled themselves and then fetched away. I thought for sure they'd be going for Tinker, but now they know not to Tinker into my negation, so now they can look for, like, a Duress. Yeah. This game has been very weird. If I find a fetch land, I think I'm in good shape, as I can then dig. That's a good one too. Yeah. Oh, wow. These are all very good. I guess we would rather have Flusterstorm than the land drop right now. Man, I can get that Collector Roof from my board. I don't actually know if that's better than getting a Hermit Druid, though. We'll have to, we cross that bridge next turn. I think there's no reason not to just take this Flusterstorm on this turn. They have a Mana Crypt in play, so I guess Collector Roof is better. I guess they can always... I guess they won't be able to tinker it away after we have negation. Though it is 2 turns away, right? And then this next turn we get to Living Wish, but we get to hold open everything. This is the Tinker. So they must have naturally drawn Tinker. Okay, so they naturally drew Tinker, which makes sense for why they would get a Gataxian Probe. I'm not sure getting Gataxian Probe is the right call. Maybe a backup plan, like an Ancestral, would have been better. But yeah. So the storm count currently is not high enough for me to do the Flusterstorming. And I don't think I necessarily need a dig through time in this game. I think I would rather have the Fluster, so. All right, so now opponent has a Dark Petition and an Unknown. I'm going to cast Living Wish, and I'm going to get... I think I'm just going to get Collector Oof here. The bad part about Collector Oof is if they, like, play land Lurrus, though. I'm just gonna get a Hermit Druid. I think that's just better. I don't want to, like, do the Collector Roof line and then get beat by the 4 Lurruses. that would be pretty silly. So they are close. That's a good draw. That's certainly a good draw. Now I definitely wish I had gone for Collector Roof, I think, but oh well, it's too late. I don't know. It's a tough call. All right, so if they draw, I think they're still dead though, because even if they draw a fetch land and cast Dark Petition, what are they gonna get? Okay, so they get the Dark Petition. What are they gonna Dark Petition for? Lurrus? Get back Bobble? Not gonna be good enough. That's pretty dope that they can do that though. They can Dark Petition for a Lurrus. They can get a Necro, but they're gonna die on the next turn. They can't get Yogwill, which is the big thing. Is a Fatal Push in their deck? I was not aware. There's a Deadweight. Oh no, there's a Deadweight. Oh no, is it a Deadweight? Oh no, it's a Deadweight. It's fantastic. If we draw a black land, we can Dread Return it. This is true. This is also a true statement. We did not, so I think we're just going to get this Lurrus that we actually can't cast because we have double Tropical Island. Too funny. Yeah, definitely not countering that. Can't cast. Okay, here we go. Boom. Demonic Tutor. Black Lotus, Black Lotus back, Dread Return back the Hermit Druid, or just return the Hermit Druid. Is there anything better though? I don't think there's anything better. I mean, I could get just Ancestral. Like, theoretically, that will also be a path to victory. I'm gonna go Lotus. I don't know if Lotus is actually better than... So I can go Lotus... So I wonder if I'm supposed to go Dread Return my Hermit Druid. Or if I'm just supposed to play my Hermit Druid. I think I'm just supposed to play my Hermit Druid, right? Why would I Dread Return it? Then my Dread Return's in my yard, but I can also just cast the Thassa's Oracle from my yard. I don't need Dread Return in my yard. I guess it's just better though. So I might as well. It doesn't matter, I don't believe. Because I have the therapy to get it out of my hand. I actually do cover the Deadweight, which is pretty funny. So I actually cover Ancestral as well. Which is really nice because that is something that could technically kill me here. So I'm going to attack with Lurrus. Should I even therapy though? I don't think that matters. I don't think I therapy first. I'm not really sure what else there can be. So I want to be able to just cast the Thassa's Oracle. I actually, yeah, I don't think there's any reason to. We beat Hardcast Force by like a lot, and there's also no Force Will in their deck. Like, we have a bunch of ways to play Thassa's Oracle. We can play it for 2 mana. We can Dread Return it. So There's really nothing that beats us there except for Ancestral, which we have covered by Misstep. If I didn't have a Misstep, I do think I would have sacked the Lurrus to Cabal Therapy and targeted them. Very interesting game, actually. It did actually matter, though. So if I didn't have Misstep and I didn't have the Dread Return in my yard, I would not have been able to therapy them to target Ancestral. So I actually definitely think that Dread Returning our Hermit Druid was better than playing it from the yard with Lurrus, which is pretty cool. That was a really cool game, actually. I top decked extremely well to get to that point in the game, but we don't talk about that. So opponent is going to bring in Dead Weight and Mystic Remoras, maybe a Soul Guide Lantern, Dark Confidant, maybe Flusterstorms. Much cool stuff. I think for me, I'm looking at Soul Guide Lanterns and Collector Roof. I don't know if I want to board out the full combo, though. That's kind of the most straightforward thing we can do. I think we would rather... like trim a land. I don't know. Deathray Shaman's not like bad against their deck. Maybe we do want to just trim... What if we trim like a land and 2 Narcomoebas? Is that crazy? It's a little weird, right? What if we trim a land, a Narcomoeba... Well, bringing in Oof and bringing in Soul Guide Lantern is kind of a nombo. Maybe we just... What if we just put out a Narcomoeba and a land for 2 Soul Guide Lanterns? What about that? I don't know. It's kind of hard. So opponent has like 3 game plans, right? They have Lurrus. They have a bunch of artifact mana and Tinker, and they have Dark Petition combo Storm stuff. So it's kind of hard to game plan against. This is so many Living Wishes. I mean, I think this is a keep. Obviously, I have no counter magic here, but I have turn 1 Hermit Druid, so I think it's worth keeping. We could just die, but I don't... Opponent's deck isn't super great at killing us with Tinker. Oh, maybe we're just going to get Tinkered then. Maybe this is not exactly what we want to be doing. I don't know. I feel like opponent's going to be more controlling post-board. I feel like they're going to bring in like Remora, Dark Confidant, that kind of stuff. I do think like just jamming a turn 1 Hermit Druid is pretty strong. They don't really have ways to interact with it besides the 2 dead weights. They have 2 dead weights. That's their way of interacting with it. They don't have, you know, you can't fluster it. You can't force it. They don't have force in their deck. So the Hermit Druid just should be really powerful. Obviously, these Living Wishes are a little... Yeah. This should just be black mana. So we have to miss on... Oh, I have the Deadweight. Okay, but it's not too bad either because we do have Living Wish for another one, or a Living Wish for an Oracle, and go for Oracle Consults. So we actually have some serious plays still, which is nice. Got a little bit of backup plan for the Deadweight. I think I think I have to go Therapy Shaman this next turn. Oh, they have a Crypt. Okay, so we're going to go for the Consult plan. Ooh, a Pierce is interesting. A Pierce is interesting. We don't have the mana yet to go for a Consult plan, so I do think that deploying, at the very least, deploying this Deathrite Shaman is correct. And then the question is, do I really have confidence in a therapy here? And I just don't feel like I do. I think I'd rather hold up Spell Pierce. So next turn, if we hit a land, we have Living Wish, Spell Pierce, and Living Wish, Spell Pierce, and Therapy. This can be a Tinker. Oh, it's Lurrus. Yeah, it's pretty good into my Spell Pierce. Deadweight my Deathrite Shaman. Not this turn, though, unless they have a land drop. Okay. This is such a cool... I think my deck is so cool. It has just so many different ways to approach things. Hit the fetch land as well. So we're actually 1 mana short of killing this turn. However, we have a lot of gameplay here. So what is the best thing to do? What is there something we want a therapy? Like what could they possibly have that would be a problem to us though? They would have played any 1 mana spell. I mean, they could have Dark Rituals, they could have Yogwill, they could have Dark Petition, I guess. Just name Dark Petition. I think that's the highest. Got him. Soul Guide Lantern, Dark Petition. Man, I love playing Cabal Therapy. It is such a feel good. Oh, wow. It's such a feel good. I feel so smart when I play it. Oh, we're actually... Oh, this is a problem. We're actually going to be colored mana short. Wait, they're going to... Oh, they targeted me. Okay. Sure. We're going to be colored mana short of our goal here. If we get dead weighted and we can't Spell Pierce it. I still... Yo, what if we Gilded Drake their Lurrus? I remembered we had Gilded Drake. So maybe we're just supposed to go Collector Oof. No, that just gets dead weighted. So we're gonna go get our Thassa's Oracle here. We might have to draw another land, depending on how this next turn plays out. If they just start with Dark Petition on our Deathrite Shaman, then it's a problem. Which is their best play for sure. But maybe they go for like a Soul Guide Lantern cycle and we get them. Oh, but I mean, it should be pretty obvious. I mean, it's not super obvious because like Hermit Druid and Oracle are combo together. Even if opponent has counter Graveyard Hate. Okay, so they went with the Deathrite, the Deadweight on the Deathrite Shaman, which is just correct. And I can't Spell Pierce it without, it getting fully paid for. So I'm just going to let it go. And we have to continue forward. That's a good draw. It's going to give them something to rebuy every turn. So if we do hit a fetch land or a like a non-Mystic Sanctuary land, we will be able to combo kill our opponent. And if we do not, then maybe we Living Wish for... Oh god, I forgot I boarded out an Underground Sea. Yikes. Maybe we Living Wish for an oof. Oh, we said we can't do an oof because they have a dead weight. We could Living Wish for a True Name. We could Living Wish for a Gilded Drake. God bless. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Okay, so blue producing land that doesn't come into play tapped. I guess we could just wish for the sea because it's in our board. What? Wait, what? Why is that happening? Okay, yeah, you're totally right. I don't even know. It didn't even register in my... It's just the next level plays. The Giga Brain plays. 5 million heads. Oh no, they have a Flusterstorm on top? That's bad. They have a fluster. No, my huge brain. Ah, unlucky. Okay. Yikes. All right. Okay, it's getting dicey now. It's getting dicey. Yeah. Oh, this just gets replayed, so there's really no point in spell piercing that. So yeah, this is the true off color Moxen. I guess it's not really off color, but in the case of this, it is off color. No, Wish for Witch is quite bad against my opponent's dead weight. This is why we're going for the Oracle combo. But we do need lands, so better than Ancestral. Look how many cards it's drawn. Absolutely. What am I gonna do here? What am I gonna do? I just need to draw my land, I think. Negation? I mean, I could get my own cat. That just gets dead weighted though. Dead weight's too broken. I mean, I could counter dead weight this turn, but I guess I have a negation. Maybe I'm just supposed to get my own cat this turn. They're drawing so many cards off of these baubles. I'm gonna go get a cat, I guess. That did just make the clock one turn less. God, Justin, that was not ideal. Oh, I fetched the wrong land. All right, we're just so... Oh my god. I was like, oh, we don't have any tropical... No, I actually had to fetch the last Underground Sea so I can cast my Lurrus. Yeah, that was quite poor. That was quite the poor play. I not only increased the clock by a turn, but I also fetched the wrong land. Who taught this guy to play Magic? Oi, oi, oi. All right, so fine. I'll just draw the land for turn and we'll just win the game instead. I might like be supposed to be countering these baubles. I don't know. What if they draw their second Flusterstorm? Yeah, the fetching the wrong land is quite silly. Oh, I have so much counter magic. I needed to play Lurrus this turn. I really needed to play Lurrus this turn, but my lands. So bad. I threw this game pretty hard, so it's really no one's but me to blame. So I don't know if we would be winning anyways, but I mean, I would demonic for a Lotus and we would win. Consult for black? Then how am I winning the game, chat? If I use my consult, how do you expect to win the game? My game plan is currently draw a land. The fetch land did increase the clock by a turn for no reason, and I can't play my Lurrus, which is the real big problem here. Because if I had just played another Lurrus and then negated their dead weight, I think we would be okay. No, we're not at that point yet. I drew so much protection. I bet they drew their other Flusterstorm the way they're playing, though, right? Like, what else can they have in their hand? Maybe we're gonna get Tendrilled out from 3 life. Oh, they certainly have a million mana this turn. I actually don't have that much protection. 3 counter? No, 2 counters. Cast this, pitching this, I guess? I don't know. I think they actually drew their second Flusterstorm. It's kind of what it feels like to me. The put Lurrus in my hand off of uncastable lands is just, it's peak play. I bet you I draw Mystic Sanctuary too. I bet you we draw Mystic Sanctuary. Oh, I only have 5 minutes left too. And we have to play game 3, so I really should play slightly faster as well. The Flusterstorm, our Living Wish that was going to get our Underground Sea was quite bad for the home team. I drew Assassin's Trophy. Huh. All right. I think I'm supposed to do that. I feel like I'm going to die. I think that's better than casting Console, so. I mean, I can't beat Fluster here. I can't beat Fluster here. Pay and Force. Okay, they just let it die. They probably have another, like, 3 Lurruses in their hand, right? Oh, I mean, Fluster's unusable anyways. I should have used my Emerald, though. Yes. I didn't even, like, think about using Fluster. I was just thinking I have to use Force of Will no matter what. But you are correct. I should definitely have held open the blue. Agreed. I mean, I can't really. I think this is a. I think they must have like multiple Lurruses, right? I guess I could have forced this. It just seems so bad. Maybe I was supposed to force that. I don't know. I have to force like a Dark Petition though. If they have a Dark Petition, right? That's what I'm more worried about. If they have a Dark Petition, I would die, or a Yogwill or something like that. Whereas a Lurrus doesn't actually kill me until next turn, and I can still draw my land and have Thassa plus Force. I'm not really sure. It's a lot of things that are happening. They just fetched. Looking another spin. Oh, here we go. Am I just gonna get Am I just gonna get Tendrilled? I can't stop a Tendrils even with Fluster, so no reason to worry about that. Okay, I can beat that by forcing it. They only have 1 card left in their hand. Okay, they had Flusterstorm. No, they're spinning. Okay, that makes sense. They can still beat me with a follow-up petition or follow-up a lot of things. They have about an infinite mana. So as long as they have anything in their top 3 cards that's not like a Lurrus, we would be dead. Oh, they have something. Ancestral is not it. That gets Tinker Citadel, so that is probably it. Doesn't get Tendrils right now, unless they drew another mana source. I mean, they can just hit a land. No! Sad day. The second duress. The second duress is so powerful. Oh my god, they bricked after it too. And we hit the land! No! No! This is so sad. It's so sad. So sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. So sad. It's so sad. Oh, what a nightmare. I don't even think boarding out a land was wrong, though. I did board out the wrong land. I probably should have boarded out Sanctuary. I'm pretty lucky that that was the case. All right. Let's just run this back. Oh me lordies. That was such a game of Magic the Gathering, wasn't it? Was that not a game of Magic the Gathering? Jeez. I would draw the land at the very last turn after we die. That's exactly correct. It's been fun though. It has been fun. Yeah. Could I have protected my Deathrite Shaman with Pierce? Can't remember. Anyways, all right, game 3. I have less than 5 minutes on the clock. Let's do this. Jeez. This hand's pretty strong, actually. And by pretty strong, I mean it has a force of will. But still, yeah, keeping it. Let's see what they've got. We will not see what they've got. All right. Okay, opponent, you got me. They played around Pierce. Okay. We have to remember that we are 1 Narcomoeba short. If we go for a Hermit Druid. That was a draw, wasn't it? That's better than Merchant Scroll for Ancestral. Maybe they have Fluster, actually. So I think we're better off just waiting. Oh, they have Ancestral. Okay, I'm going to Brainstorm. Maybe I'm going to pitch that to Force of Will. No, I kind of want that land drop. Am I allowed to let that resolve? I'm going to do this now so I don't forget. Oh, why did I keep this land when I can Gush? So bad. I guess I'm not going to Gush. I don't know if that's correct. I feel like we're gonna get tinkered though. Oh, Tormod's crypt. Okay, we didn't get tinkered. Yeah, why tutor if play around fluster. Why tutor when you can just draw the card? I think they have fluster. I think I'm supposed to pay the way they currently are playing. I do want to be able to get Force of Will, but I'll Pyro in their deck. Probe, I have nothing. Can you kill me? Okay, I drew another Force. So I think the best play is Preordain into... God, do I just want to Daze too? Just giving all the counter magic, yeah. And then we'll go for an end step dig. Yeah, we have like infinite counter magic this game. They could have second fluster here. I just don't think I would even care. I took out Sanctuary, so I'm just going to take out my Ancestral. Okay, they had second fluster. I'm just going to let this happen. I don't care very much. Oh, we don't have any Merchant Scroll targets left, right? Don't think I care about that either. If I'm just going to go Living Wish. I might go... I'm just going to go Hermit Druid. I do think I have to, play this Narcomoeba? Because there's one Narcomoeba gone? Or did the Narcomoeba get shuffled in? The Narcomoeba got shuffled in, the Gush went away. So I just have to play... No, I don't have to do anything. I'm good here. Oh, there is a Crypt in play. You're right. It's fine. We'll get there eventually. I'm just playing really fast. I probably should have gotten a Collector Roof then. You're probably right. Ogwill. Oh, sweet. Welcome, everybody. We're in the last 2 minutes of this Mythic Society weekly event. You duressed after? You poor soul. Though we are down to nothing. If they draw Tinker, we lose. That would be bad. I definitely should not have gotten a Hermit Druid. That could have been so much better. I drew a negation. Jeez. I also got 3 Trops again, so I can't play this Lurrus. Yes. Okay. I hope I have enough time to win this game. I drew an Emerald? Oh, no. Oh, no. I can't. Sorry, chat. I would love to say hi to you, but I have 1:40 because I play at the snail's pace this game. Drew Tinker? Oh my god, opponent is a madman. Opponent is an absolute mad lad. I have the negation, though. We were covered. All right, fetch land. I don't even have Sanctuary in my deck. It's probably for the best. Black, green, Lurrus. Attack. I mean, I think I was correct to bottom the jet. We have a cat. Oh, Brainstorm's a good draw. Brainstorm's a good draw. I'm more worried about opponent killing us than us running out of time, I think. Like Dark Ritual, Dark Petition, something. I don't know what it would be, but... Oh, Living Wish. That's game. Living Wish, Collector Oof. Oh, I should have gotten Thassa's Oracle. I'm so bad. Thassa's Oracle would have been better. I think I have all the pieces in my deck, so we should still be fine. Oh, let's go! This deck is so much fun. I definitely should have Living Wished for Thassa's Oracle, because that would have just done it itself. But yeah. So some slight inaccuracies. No blunders, but definitely some slight inaccuracies there. Holy moly! Wow, this deck is a lot of fun. I know we only went 2-1 because of the bye, but damn. That was wild. That was actually wild. Did we lose game 1 of that match? I feel like we lost game... No, we lost game 2, right? Yeah, game 2. Submit. Yes. Submit ticket. General question. 3-1. Vintage. Society. Weekly. Level 1 Patreon. I don't know. Something like that. All right, cool. Yeah, that was dope. That was so much fun. This deck is wild. I don't know. What do we feel like, chat? Do you think this was? Yo, you have some crazy matches to watch later, Chase, because those games were insane. Like crazy back and forth, just insanity. Lurrus was fantastic. Why would you not want, like, what do you want? Like, if you didn't have Lurrus as a companion here, you would have what, one Narset, maybe an Oko? Like, I thought Lurrus was so good. I don't know what I'm missing there.